beneath the idol which is worshipped in this town. Funny enough, of course, they've forewarned you against venturing here. They've told you that it's a mortal danger. Not only a mortal danger to the village, this isolated community, but a mortal danger to yourselves as the nano spirits would consume you. Elders and everyone else said that no one has ever returned from the idol, for the idol has consumed them in its anger. But here you are staring at what seems to be a complex, clearly to you, a technologically advanced, excuse me, it's got the hiccups, unfortunately. Complex, full of, God's sakes, bad timing.
Full of what?
Full of advanced previous world technology. And swirling before you is a spinning vortex of large metallic objects that are glowing with red laser light as they seem to scan you. And you do not know, God's sakes, bro, what bad timing, what their intentions are.
Oh, before you go on, Kai, is this the next day or is this the same night?
It is the same night that you decided to enter the idol area. You know.
Okay, so I'm still, my special task is still salvaging Numenera. I haven't changed it to crafting yet.
Exactly. It is still salvaging. That lasts for 28 hours and it will change.
Is it worth me trying to salvage some Numenera here?
Well, God, wow, how weird I get hiccups at this terrible moment. The reality is that you have just reached the bottom of the stairs after experiencing, I would explain it as a radical time loss due to the strange pulsing lights of the blue crystal structures that have been built into the face of the idol and have been built into the stairway that you have passed. Still watching the blinking blue light. Weird, bro. As you're at the foot of the stairs, watching a funny, weird circular formation of these objects, which don't look clearly mechanical, listening to whatever animals live up recesses of this area, who have been clearly creating a deep pile of guano in the cave floor.
Okay, we've lost you.
You're muted in case you didn't notice.
Yeah, it's because I have a
Okay.
really crazy
Hold your
hiccups.
breath.
And I'm trying to hold my breath to make the hiccups go away.
You're recording this, Anthony.
Yep.
Hey, guys, hiccups happen during sessions. Oh, son of a bitch. Let's see how that works out. Okay, if you remember, you guys have a goddamn circle of strange entities in front of you. They are metallic entities the size of basketballs that have formed a strange swirling circle in front of you.
Hi, are they sentient?
You don't know. It's clear that they reacted to you as soon as you entered. Whoever first came off the stairs first observed the thing. I will put the description. Gosh sakes, what am I going to do? Just
Can I scan?
yes, you can try to scan at the moment, as they are not completely antagonistic to you, but they seem to be scanning you some harm. And so when you scan these things, God's sakes, although the beam that they shoot out from the depression in the front of them can often be blinding. You will understand that they are individually weak objects with a difficulty of 1.
Are they sentient?
You would not call these things sentient in the same way you are now. They are aware, but they don't have a individual consciousness.
I'm gonna try to shut them off.
Okay.
But should that be difficulty 8?
Oh yeah.
Well, hold up. I mean, it is a. So this is what happens. As a kind of weird electronic sounds. So difficulty 8. No, actually difficulty 1. You rolled a 6, because difficulty 2. Okay, so disactivation. What's your disactivation? What did it say exactly?
It says you activate or deactivate any machine you can see within a short range. Even if normally you would have to touch it or manually operate the device, to use this ability, you must understand the function of the machine. It must be your size or smaller, and it can't be connected to another intelligence. Where way I can put it up? Let me see. Yeah.
Okay. God damn. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Bad luck. I've got hiccups. Rare. Trying to see if you can shut all of them off or just one. Well, I think this means you can take out one of them, right? I think that is your power. You can't take all of them simultaneously, but you can definitely take out at least one of them. If you want to spend more points, you can take out more of them.
How many are there?
There are. Oh, God's sakes, God, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
Kai, if you fail the roll, do you lose the points too?
Acting as two. Okay. There are. Oh, God's sakes, man. There are 10 of them.
I want to shut off the ones that are lighting me.
Okay. Okay. There's like 2 level 3 swarms. So what did you get? You were able to beat difficulty 2. There's the problem. You're not able to defeat a group of them. You might be able to defeat one of them. If you want to spend more intellect points, you can next turn to defeat more of them.
Okay.
Right? But that will require you to beat. If you want to beat a group of them, you'll have to beat difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So an individual is difficulty 1, but as a group, they're difficulty 3. God sakes, this fucking hiccups. And so you're able to disable one of them. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
you see it shut down. The red light in front of it stops blinking in the weird pulsing pattern. It seems to stop scanning you. And for God's sakes, it just floats down to the ground and stops. And then the space is taken up by the other nearby neighbor objects as a spin in a circle in front of you.
Kai, with my scan, do I understand the function of the light, what the light does?
You presume that the light is like what you're doing, serves some kind of scanning function.
But we lost time. Was it these devices that did that to us?
You have no idea. The lost time certainly started when the blue running lights that run from the sort of chest of the statue through the hallway and the stairs started blinking, essentially. So that started pulsing, and that seems to be when you lost your time reference.
Okay.
Would you like to hit him with my broadsword?
I don't know if we should necessarily be attacking these creatures. I mean, I could just shut them off.
Let me know if you want me to give them a biff.
What are those, Igor?
They're little scanning devices.
Well, they don't seem to be attacking us. We could just walk around then.
Yeah, so as long as like you're all at the end of the stairs right now talking, and they're all sort of blinking these red, laser pen lights at you.
I can just touch it with my necks.
It might be aggressive.
No, just a little tick.
Why don't you two go first and I'll stay here to defend you from behind?
Okay, and I go for it.
Okay. Well, if you go forward, then you suddenly see, right? Of course, I said there were 10 of these, and now there are 9 of these. I would call them basketball sized metallic objects
Mm-hmm.
with a weird red blinking light and tubes and so on and wiring around them with a complicated sort of surface structure. They start rotating in a counterclockwise manner. And you see them as you step forward that their red beaming lights converge on your chest.
Oh, stop it!
That don't look good.
I'm going to try to deactivate them all, Kai.
Okay. Right. Okay. I need you guys to initiative.
Oh shit.
Plain and
Should I put
simple.
should I put my token here first? So it gets automatically added?
Where are we? We are in some random. Yeah, you can put your.
It's a roll 6. I should have reset the thing.
Yeah,
Just
you're put your. You
just
can put your. I mean,
randomization.
I didn't. There's no map for this, guys. Let's just theater the mind it. Just make sure you
Mhm.
put your.
I just put my token out so it functions with the terminal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What the hell's going on?
how do I do that? I drag it, don't I?
Yeah, just click the name and drag it to the tabletop.
And then
Click your token, make sure it's clicked, and then click initiative on your sheet.
can't find initiative in it. Which one's
It's,
initiative?
it's the first one is skills.
It's right
That's-
below your
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah, it should be reasonably obvious where it is.
That one?
It's called
No.
initiative.
It's right below your stats, Mike.
Yeah, you pressed it once.
No, I clicked it on the character sheet, but in my token, bar 1, bar 2, and 3 are
Mike, it has nothing to
No.
do with your token. All you have to do is have your token highlighted when you click on your sheet.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
Maybe
if you have your token like selected, so to speak, and you click the initiative, it'll automatically
Click it.
appear in a turn order. Yeah.
that work? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. But what was your original initiative, Chowry?
8, 6.
It's
Sorry.
fine. I don't mind going last.
What was it?
The first roll was 6, but it's 1 is fine.
No. We go by your first roll. Your second roll was a merely a
So-
mechanical necessity. Okay, so Zygo has a 16, Chowry has a 6, Hilda has a 20, and these simple creatures, these I will call them guard spheres for right. Technically, they act on a 3, right? So all of you have a significantly better initiative as objects. Well, actually, I should say
Hooray.
they act as a group, so they're going to act on 9. So technically, Chowry, you will act later. Brown Hilda, again, you see like a group of these things, basically like like 4 or 5 of them. They shift their focus, and their weird laser scanning light converges on you. You see a bright red spot on your chest. What are you going to do?
Do they display a threat to my character right now?
It is what you see. You can do what you want. They start emitting strange staticky sounds at a higher rate than it did before. Right? It's flashing its beam. The beam's no longer flashing. It's kind of like we can imagine a laser targeting system. It's not a gun. It's pointed at your chest. You saw like the multiple lines of light stop blinking and converging on a big red spot on your chest. and
Oh,
there
there is
is
a
a
gun.
weird like bursts and bleats of electric static, like a noisy walkie-talkie or radio that seems to be emitted by the groups of rotating basketball-sized electronic devices.
Okay, you just described that it was a gun in the thing, right?
I did not. You have no idea. All I have said
Oh, okay.
is
No,
that
okay.
it is like the laser targeting of a modern day uh, first world weapon converges on your chest. Like
Okay.
multiple laser targeting systems have converged on your chest.
But it might just be a scanner.
Yeah, I gotta put my left hand over my chest. I gotta put the X in front of me, like in the defensive position. I gotta, oh, stop looking, you pervert! And that's my action.
Okay, well that's what you're gonna do then.
Roger, Brent.
And then Zygor. Are you going to hold an action? Are you going to put your hand up and go ah, ba, 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 ba? Nothing else. Zygor, what are you going to do?
I'm going to try to deactivate them all.
Okay. To deactivate them will require actually a difficulty 3 roll. Okay, success difficulty 3, final 16 beats difficulty. Okay, so there are 9 of them, and they are acting, I would say, in groups of
Three.
3. Yeah, and so. Oh no, actually, I say they're maybe acting as group. No, 2 groups. Okay, all right. And so at the moment, you see that the 4 out of the 5 objects, these things that have been focused on Brown Hilda. What are you going to do with them, by the way? You're going to activate it. Okay, so you deactivate them.
Yeah, I deactivate them.
And so they basically, like the first one, they were the 4 of them that are left. They stop shining their red lights, and they float down towards the ground, and they sort of stay kind of minimally floating above the ground, and the red light in front of them blinks off.
Cool.
I mean, I'm done, right? Can I do anything else?
You can move. You have an action. You have a move action, essentially. Right.
Nah, I'm gonna stay by Broomhill.
Okay. All right. So that is half of the objects they stop, and so then there's. I said that there were 10 of them. So 5 of them are essentially still focused on Brownhilda. And so then, Brownhilda, I need you to roll a level 3 speed defensive task.
Okay. Fail.
Right. Okay. And so, give me a second here. Okay. And so the 5 other weird, freakish, large balls that have weird glyphs and strange circuitry and this red shining light. Well, they together shoot a beam of light at you, converging on your chest because there was multiple of these, and so you will take 4 points of might damage.
Oh! 4 points. Okay.
Ouch! And these what was once a sort of reddish, just simple light, turns into an intense blue light that you feel searing through your armor, if you have armor, and hits you. Do you have any armor there, Yuri?
Yeah, I have a level 3 armor.
Well, then the level 3 armor, of course, takes 3 points away from the damage, as it always does from all damage. And then you only absorb 1 point of laser damage as these things try and shoot a hole through and punch a hole with your armor. The armor sizzles, and you smell the stench of burning synth plastic and metal as these things hit you. All right, that being said, then it is Chowry's. What are you going to do?
So here's what I'm thinking. I've been carrying around this remote viewer, which
Indeed.
is a level 4 device that I can put it here. Look, it's into 2 parts. One with the glass screen that shows everything going on in the vicinity of the other part, regardless of the distance between them. Here's what I'm thinking. I stick the one part behind us, kind of facing towards where we've come from. In other words, nothing, or even behind Brownhilda, and then I put the other part in front of her, in the way of the beams, in the hope that instead of seeing Brownhilda, what they're going to see is whatever the other part of the device is seeing. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I suspect that this is essentially the size of an iPad. And the glass screen is either the size of a large smartphone all the way up to the size of an iPad. And that the other part is what we call a baby camera. So what this essentially is a baby camera attached to a tablet. It is of that nature.
It's like
But
the
then
app that
if I
watches
put,
your doorbell. You know.
Yeah,
yeah,
it can't
but
be that big.
if I put that behind Brownhilda and then put the viewing device in front of Brownhilda, are they gonna see what's behind Brownhilda, or are they not those kind of
Is
lasers?
the viewing device? Do you have an? Did I talk? Look, the viewing device has to be some personal size, right? I mean, it might be bigger than this, but I have a feeling that Chowry, the type of objects you have are of.
But all the lasers are focused on one point, aren't they?
Well, they are. They're focused on the center body mass of Brownhill, if you know what I mean.
So do you think I could get all the points of the lasers onto this screen? Even if they're not viewing devices, they might reflect.
What is your intellect score?
Not very big. 3 at the moment.
What is your not your pool, but your base? What is your normal?
And my normal is 7.
I mean,
I'm getting the
you would have to hope that these objects will focus on a image that is 10% of the size of Brunhilde herself. Being that Brunhilde is a very broad and large person.
they're going to focus on the device, aren't they?
I mean, you're not even sure if they can see the screen because, again, it's like looking at an iPad.
Yeah.
You can look at the remote video image on the second part of the screen.
I'm getting the impression I shouldn't use my single usage of this on this.
You are unsure if this would be a wise use of this device.
That might be good if you give me one part of it and I like plant it in the Elder's Keep.
Yes,
that,
okay. That's what I do.
Would be an interesting use of that device, yes. Being as it's essentially a remote access camera.
Like giving one part of it as a gift to the elders.
Assuming they don't shove it up their ass, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
I could just leave it on like a bookshelf in their keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. In which case, maybe then I just take my broadsword and take a swing at some of them.
This is also something you could do if you don't think the other ciphers in your control, which you have a fair amount of, would be of any use to you.
No, I've got ray emitter, which is like a telepathic thing, and sleeper spray, which would only work on beings that breathe.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Do you have a tether or gravity dampener? Is that also part of your?
No, I have a bag of light tools, which include small tongs, pliers, screwdriver, small hammer.
So I'm staring at your character, and you have a third card of Numenera that says tether or gravity dampener. Are you saying I should take that away from you because you did not receive it?
Oh, either that was one we didn't choose, or somebody else took it.
Let us assume that you have one of these. Would you prefer the tether or the gravity dampener?
Well, I think in this situation, the tether is going to be. Didn't Brownhilde have this?
I don't know.
I have a card on my deck that I don't need anymore.
Oh,
because I'm not falling. The tether would be the more useful of the two, I think.
Is that the Calmarite photonic emitter?
But I have a horrible feeling I picked this up and then to Brownhill.
For me?
Which,
yeah. The Calamite blade and Calmarite.
Okay, let me fucking cipher power deck. Just take this and put it here. Yeah, no. Okay, I have to steal the card. Stealing, prove the stealing. I think that's how that
Right, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever figure out if we got any extra XP?
Fuck. I didn't. I'm sorry. You know what? I once again. Fuck, man. What an asshole. No, it was my responsibility. I should have looked. I did not.
I think I just need to hit him, to be honest.
Well, you just. What do you want to do? You have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7,
I'm gonna
6.
hit. What's the difficulty?
5, 4. You can have a difficulty of 3 of hitting a group of them, which is 5 of them.
Fuck.
Yeah, okay. So you are not successful at slashing at them. They move too quickly in 2 semicircular. They split up into 2 circular rotating groups. They move much too quickly for you, and you are unable to hit them. All right. And so, Brownhilde, you are top of the order. These Anthony has been able to take down, rather, you see after Zygor, has some sort of weird behaviors. Four of the things that were shooting at your chest obviously
Mm-hmm.
have stopped functioning, but you have another group of five that are rotating in a clockwise manner. They shot a grouped laser at you that burned through your armor, and then you see them charging up again. You hear the weird electronic hum, and you also hear the weird static interchange between them. They seem to be communicating possibly with this weird static interchange. What are you going to do?
Okay, I'm gonna get in frenzy and I'm gonna attack one of these. And success. I got this big destroy all of them.
All right, excellent. Right. So success. All right. Yeah. So you damage 7 to these things. Okay. And that means okay. And so what happens is you essentially slash multiple objects and you break them with your massive sword, your great axe, rather. Your great axe cuts through the metallic shell, and many of them shatter. An explosion of electric sparks and hot fire explosions. They uh, fall to the ground, crashing against shell snow, and of course, not melting it, but burning in the strange green and orange fire. Zygor.
Can I reprogram the ones that are the ones that are knocked out?
And how would you reprogram?
I have a Numenera called Repair Unit. So I was wondering if I could use that with my little toolkit, and since I scanned them, I have an understanding of how they function. I don't know.
Okay, how is repair kit? What is it?
The device becomes a multi-armed sphere that floats. It repairs one designated Numenera device of a level equal to or less than its own.
So I think you could try and do that with the downed ones that have just been broken by Verbo and Hilda. So you'll have to take in action. Is that a cipher then, right?
Yeah, it's a cipher.
Yeah, so you can take that cipher and you can use it as an action to do that. Yes, absolutely.
It's level 8, so I don't know if that means anything.
Oh yeah, that's a level 8. These things are level 1. You can, or even the swarm is level 3. So you can do that to all 4 of them that got bashed down by Brownhill. All 5 that got bashed down by.
Okay.
Because the other ones you already took out. Already, if my understanding is that
they're just shut down.
Yeah, they're shut down. So the ones that Brunhilde has smashed, they're broken, but you can quickly use your Numenera to make them work again. Yeah.
And I can reprogram them to have them follow me.
It says you can reprogram things, right?
It says repair.
Repair. So you can repair them to make them work as an action. But to use a Numenera to make them follow you is going to have to be an intellect roll, understanding Numenera if you want, but it's an intellect challenge, difficulty 3.
You see that?
You were trained, and yeah. So then roll that with machine defense. So then you roll that skill, and it's a difficulty 3. You can expend effort if you like to do that.
I used my effort already. I'm gonna just try.
Yeah, you can use effort again.
Bingo.
Fantastic, man. So what happens is that you take both I'm going to say that your success, because it's not major fact, is that you are able to take control all 10.
Oh my goodness.
No.
High five, Zach.
So I'm going to say essentially that all 10 of these weird round balls
Mm-hmm.
are in your control.
Even though when they're broke?
Yeah, use a numerator to fix them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Don't
because
A cipher to fix them.
like great attack, so you damage 7. So yeah. So damage 7, difficulty 3. So they are. Let me take a look how many are left. Actually, as to say, health 3. So there were 5 of them. There were 15. So I'm going to say this. Yuri Baroque. There were 15, half of them. So Yuri broke 3. So you have the 5 that you disabled, and you have 2 more. So you have a total of 7.
7. Okay. I'm gonna have 2 follow Broomhilda and 2 follow
Wait, so
Chowry.
armor 1. Wait, so you did level 7. So actually have armor. So she shot down 2.
All you do.
So I would say actually, I'm sorry, it's 8. I'm gonna give you this information now. Now that you took control, clear?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me.
I'm gonna program 2 to follow Chowry and 2 to follow Broomhilda.
Okay. So actually,
like they're under their control.
You have 8 in control. You have 2 groups. Okay. You actually have 8 in control.
Okay.
So they have each one has technically health 3. They can do 2 points of damage. Have armor 1. And so I'm just gonna let you know that whatever they are, they're in your control, and you get a sense of their ability to.
So I have 4 following me, and then there's 2 for everybody else.
Zygor, make sure they delete the scan they took from my breast. I don't want this going in the internet.
Yeah. I don't think they're Wi-Fi enabled anymore.
Oof. But even though deleted, you know, that's private.
I think you destroyed that one.
Good, good. But just for make sure, take a look at the other two, if you could. I would much appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, they now they turn themselves around. They change the direction. They're pointing their laser beams at you. They are pointing away from you, and you see them sort of shooting into the darkness of the roof of the cave. And when they shoot, kind of weird bat-like winged things fall smoking out of the darkness above you.
Let's let them take care of the creature problem. I send my 4 up towards the ceiling.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, so things just tend to disappear there.
These things are quite useful, eh?
Yeah, you could say so. And I
hope
tried
you're
to
not
put my cloak over my body.
Zygo.
What's up, Chowry?
I hope you're not using them to read my mind again.
No, I don't use those devices to do that. I just do that. So, Chowry, they're under your control. I am no
Ooh.
longer linked to
How
those.
do I do that?
Just tell them what to do and they'll do it.
Whoa, cool. Can I play with them?
Be careful of the light.
What are they called?
Name
Should
them
I
whatever
give
you
them
want.
names? Okay, I'm gonna call them Boris and Dominic. Boris and Dominic, go and tickle Brownhilda.
I don't think they
That's
understand tickling.
Nope. You don't really have much of a control of them. It's more like they don't seem to be attacking. That is sort of sense that you get. They haven't attacked you, and they seem to be shooting at entities or into the spaces beyond you.
Kai, could I tinker with one?
When
To
you
make
say
it
shooting, do you moving or
Yeah, what do you want to
firing?
do? What do you want to do exactly?
so its laser doesn't hurt, and I want to open it so it becomes more of a light than a focused laser. You know, I want to open the lens.
Okay, I think that's going to be a intellect roll. You could use crafting numenera if you have it.
I do not. I'm just going to use my machine sanity.
Isn't
What
that
level?
like opening a shellfish?
It is the level of an individual, so it's level 1. It's gonna. I think that makes sense. It's actually a level 1 object. So
Wah, wah,
not a.
wah.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 1.
Oh, Zygote, I think
Well,
you broke.
yeah. So I'm going to easily say that it explodes in your face, and you are going to take
Nice move,
two
Zygote.
2 points of might damage.
Ow.
Yeah, try one of mine.
Now I've got 3. Alright, I'll try it. Check.
Oh, Zyger, darling! What happened? Oh my god, your face! Oh,
There we
let me
Whoa,
clean. Let me clean.
So you do that to another one, and you're extremely successful. I mean, you don't have a major combat effect or anything, but I'm going to say that you have now learned how to do that because it's such a fantastic row. You figured out how to do that for all of them. So you've disabled the high intensity laser firing, and have instead been able to
I want
turn.
some of them still be able to shoot the laser. Is it possible?
Well, I'm going to say that because you rolled a 20, you have understood how to adjust the laser by opening up from high intensity to a low intensity scan. So you understand the system by which this turns scanning laser into the high intensity. So you can see the circuitry system. So yeah. So I mean the laser's not bright, but you've done it once. You know how to do it for at least one. To shut off essentially attack weapon. So you can do that to any other one you want. That's what you get for rolling a 20.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if I'm familiar with it enough, then I'll do it for everybody, for all of them.
Okay, so you're going to take all the spheres and you're basically going to detooth them, right? You're going to unarm them.
So they could. You said that it's possible for them to reactivate, right? Or am I just able to unactivate some of them and then leave some of them armed?
Yeah, I think the intellect roll with 20 is you've completely figured out how to unactivate the weapon use of the laser.
Okay. But they wouldn't be able to reactivate it themselves.
It sounds like shelling oysters.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with deactivating. Just 2 of them. One of mine and the Chow Room
Yeah.
has one. And what about Broomhilda? You want a light, Broomhilda?
I could make some use of some light. Yeah.
All right, I'll do one for Broomhilda, one for Chowry, and one for me.
Okay, yeah, and so what you've done is that you've adjusted the laser so that it scans constantly nonstop, and that essentially allows it to, because it scans so quickly, it's illuminating everything with a red light. Right? It's illuminating the darkness with a red light.
Nightclub, basically.
All right.
Huh?
Like an 80s nightclub when the lasers first came in. They were going
Well, you don't see the laser beam because it's not filled with fog. It's rather like it shoots so quickly. It's more like a red flashlight, a dim red flashlight. Yeah.
Somebody running a garbage disposal?
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
Oh, sorry. It's not the garbage disposal. It's the wash thing from the washroom from the hospital. Close my house. Sorry, I'm gonna close the window.
Okay.
washroom in the hospital.
What? Coisa que está escovendo la rua. Street cleaner. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay. So
I think he's playing in the laundry room of a hospital.
maybe.
We can't hear you at all.
Yuri?
Oh, sorry. I was out of the phone. I was closing the window. What happened? Hello.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yes.
Okay. Would. All right. Excellent. So I'm going to say this. Yeah, you have been able to essentially, take control of these devices, and reprogram it as you wish. You see Zygor putting his hand out, and you're not really sure what happens, but Zygor's eyes will maybe, I don't know, Anthony, if you think it's like, will light up, and you'll see his fingertips light up, right? Like there's some LED lights running through his palm and concentrating on his fingertips. Yeah. And as they do that, you will notice that the machines will follow his hand as he waves it around. Zygor stops, concentrates, and focuses real still for about 10 seconds. And the laser beams sort of flicker on and off, and after they've shot you, and then they stop functioning. And then some of them will go down to the ground, and stop functioning, and the others will simply stop flashing their laser beams, and then you will see Zygor move up, and taking out a tool out of his bag. He sort of, it looks like he's scanning the objects, not really touching them. Like he's sweeping this tool across the objects. Their lights blink in a rapid, weird succession. Then suddenly, all the objects, all these things, the ones that haven't been destroyed by Brunhilde's attack, they turn the other direction, and they start flashing their red lights in front of you.
Brownhilda. Zygor makes me nervous. All this macumber.
I don't worry about him. He's just had a little bit difficult to get along with other people. We should be comprehensive about this. He's just special.
Don't let him read my mind, Brownhilda.
Oh, he won't. He won't, okay?
Chowry, you know what you and your mind have in common with this place? What your mind and this place have in common?
Tell me.
Point to the ground of the cave.
Should I laugh now?
I don't know.
So, who
Brown
wants
Hilda,
a? Go ahead.
get off me.
Come on, boys, come on. Let's get moving. Okay, need to move. We don't know which hour it is now. Okay, let's moving.
Who wants a? Who would like experience points
I
via
do.
GM intrusion?
It's
Okay.
going to be just one.
A GM intrusion. All right, so I'm going to say this then. So you want a GM intrusion, right? Okay. So that's going to be 2 experience points. Who should these experience points go to besides yourself? Who else
Ooh.
should get the experience points? It has something to do with the gaze with these spherical objects, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I would give them to Brown Hilda because I don't trust Zygor, but if it's related to these things, I should probably give them to Zygor. So Zygor it is.
Okay, and so Zygor is going a. Okay. Just give me a second.
Maybe this could be a breakthrough for Chowry.
Zygor, you're going to get another experience point. Okay.
Trusting the monster.
Great. Okay, so Zygor is around with objects. The one that Broomhilda struck explodes. And so it is going to take everyone within short range is going to take 5 points of damage
Holy
of
crap.
might.
Whoa.
And of course, short range in this case, not immediate range. So short range is essentially, 40, 50 feet. So everyone takes 5 points of might damage. Explosion of one of these objects.
I'm hurt.
Out.
Okay, as I was saying, let's move. Let's move. Oh my god, you two are so dirty. Oh no.
Okay, and so one thing that you notice and you hear as you're walking forward, crunching through the shell snow, walking towards these multiple weird bronze-colored domes inside this cave-like structure, is that besides the bat-like or whatever flying creatures are screeching above you in a irritating chirping sound, you also realize that there are crunching sounds all around you, like a scratching and a scrabbling along the ground, and not beyond the crunching of your feet. And then you also notice there are odd, let us say, trails in the shell snow, crisscrossing the floor. They look like little carved out lanes that crisscross the front of you.
I want to send out a light orb and a laser orb.
Okay.
Follow one of the trails in the snow.
Okay. I mean, you can't get any sensation from it. Just so you know, right? That is you. I don't think you can see through them necessarily. I mean,
No,
you've
no. I just want to
yeah.
use them to see if they
Okay.
see anything, they can react on their own
React.
and
Yeah,
kill.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
take
the.
I'm gonna take a
Go ahead.
defensive position, defending Jari and Zyger.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's about that they're going to function on their own. You've been able to prevent them from attacking you, and you've essentially been able to get them to function in their own manner. And so what's going to happen is that you are going to see it moving off into the darkness, and of course, it's a dim light from above. I mean, this place isn't totally dark, but you can't quite see the ceiling. The running lights go around the edges of this, I believe. It's the right way to imagine the way it looks. And they're blinking at the hallway, right? And then they kind of stop at the stairway. It's dark up above you. You see the flying defender and move to the distance, and then you hear it. You see it shoot, right? You see that it's the laser turns to blue and shoots at something in the darkness. You can't quite see it because all you see is a red light scanning, and you hear a weird chirping sound, almost like a cicada, and then more of the cicada sounds moving away from where the laser beam shot.
Okay.
After you, gentlemen.
So what are you guys going to do? Again, you're in a big kind of cave. The ceiling of the cave is shadows. The only light that you have is emanating from the blue lights in the stairway that you came down, and those blue lights are pulsating weirdly. Again, you've already experienced the pulsation has had a time sort of loss effect to you. And then in front of you, besides these 10 objects that you were able to disable and these weird sounds, there is 7 bronze metal buildings, right?
Okay.
And a calf to knee deep drifts of snow or shell snow shore until you, and the stench of guano, some kind of feces that's covering the floor. It's acrid and it burns your eyes. What are you going to do?
Is there another way beside the one that we came that we can see in pass?
You can't see the light from the lights, the running lights that extend just a little past the opening into this. Right? They only illuminate maybe 20, 30 feet in front of you, 10, 7 to 10 yards, not too much beyond that. You can see the shadows of what you think you count at least 7 of these weird buildings with the light bouncing off of them, but there might be more, but you can see 7 arranged down the sort of central pathway.
Do they
Okay, I
look?
wanna go.
Do they look
I wanna
active,
go through
Scott?
this pass.
Are there any like smokestacks or?
Nope, not at all. They look unlike the ones you saw in the village. They seem totally self-contained, weird copper buildings, copper bronze buildings. There's no smoke, and you look before you, and there's certainly no footsteps in the layer of shell snow / batshit that spreads out before you.
Yeah, let's go to a building.
Let's go to where?
To a building.
Oh, let's go.
I'm following you guys.
Okay. Well, the hijacked group of strange laser shooting mechanical floating metal balls follows Zygote, and you will get to this sort of the front of a copper dome. Of course, there as you get to this, you realize there's more in the distance, right? There's a whole bunch. This whole place is quite huge. Matter of fact, this underground complex might almost be as big as the village itself. It's massive, and you did walk down into the darkness for quite a while, so this must be quite deep underneath the surface. But it's its own sort of strange small village. A As you're walking towards the first dome, again, the domes look just like the domes that you saw in the village, is somewhat bigger. They are perfectly smooth. There is um, around what looks like a doorway, and in the center of the doorway, there seems to be some kind of round plate.
Broomhilda, open that door.
I open the door.
How do you do that?
Okay. I get a little bit of space from the two. My right hand, I have my great axe. With the left, I'm gonna gently just first unlock the door. See if he's not locked.
It's a
How do
plate.
you unlock? How do you unlock the door? There's no visible lock on this. It's just a round, sort of a round-ish, a perfectly round, I would say, archway
Okay.
in the center of this weird dome, and in the center of it is a roundish plate, kind of a roundish panel that protrudes off the surface of the round closed opening.
Okay,
Again,
I
this is
pushed.
not like what you saw before in the village.
Okay. I pushed the center plate.
Okay, you put your hand on a central plate, and you feel a tingle in your hand as it glows momentarily in a yellowish, in a sort of a yellowish glow that moves, that expands from the top down of the plate. You hear a clicking sound, and then the doorway separates into multiple pieces, and you have an opening. There are small blue lights in the interior, and you see immediately a blue hologram-like screen appears with diagrams and strange writing that is hovering in the center of.
Zygur, scan please.
The lights.
Yeah, there is a
No,
whole.
if there is a trap in front of me, I don't know.
Don't worry, Brano, right behind you.
Are we looking at like a control panel or something?
Well, yeah, it's like you look at it, and as soon as you open it, sort of like blue lights appear, pulsing around. I would say like top third of this dome, and then there seems to be like I would call it something the size of a very large banquet table in the center of this room that lights up. And then you have basically like a hologram in front of you. This complex a hologram that has diagrams, shifting diagrams, and a bunch of weird, strange writing floating in the air. I mean, it goes up. The table must be about maybe a meter off the ground, and then the strange, complex diagram that floats up is anywhere from you know uh, 1 foot to 3 feet. 30 to 100 centimeters above the surface of this strange table, and it's all sort of like shifting and changing, and it looks like some sort of weird map, actually.
I'm gonna enter the room.
Okay, I'm going to get in with Zyger.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over and just start looking at the lights and the panels and seeing if I can get an understanding of
Right
how they
behind
function.
Nigel.
So this is where understanding Numenera and salvaging Numenera and those Numenera-related skills will be very important because it's an intellect role to try and understand what this is.
What level?
I'm going to say that this is a level 3. Did you? So I'm looking at things. Did you pass?
Yep, I passed.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So you just get it. You get a level. Okay, Zygor, you're looking at this using your machine intelligence, moving across it. You realize there's some kind of strange panel here, and you play around with it. It's quite strange, but you're able to manipulate some of these arcane buttons and panels, and clearly they're just, I wouldn't call them buttons, but they're just sort of interactive, flat, iPad-like, giant iPad-like screens. It takes you about 10 minutes. But you recognize that this is some sort of mapping tool, a tracking system, navigational. And you see landforms and topographic maps. You can sort of flick through them. You see all sorts of different three-dimensional maps with strange floating labels on different objects. You kind of get a sense of what this is describing, but you have no idea where they are. You don't recognize what the fuck this is.
I don't recognize any of the terrain.
No, you don't. They don't seem any land or area you're familiar with. And you kind of, it's one of those things where like you realize you can sort of slide your finger across, at the screen, and you just like you just see dozens and dozens and dozens of different three-dimensional maps appear with different. None of them are familiar, but it's kind of. And then you do realize that there is a. You probably think the center of this is an object that's right beneath, at the center of the table, in the center of what looks like this synth glass table, which looks like the size of I'd call it a briefcase in modern terms, and and it's a bunch of bronze metal spheres and thin pipes, and then the pipes and the spheres have these little needle-like projections that stick in many directions, like all over, right? These small little, it looks like a sea urchin or something, like a weird crunchy chestnut. But it seems that the light is emanating from the little needle-like projections, and at the very center of the table. Recognize it.
What do I recognize?
You recognize that the map seems to be made by this weird suitcase-sized object in the center of this glass table, synth glass table.
So it's
What I mean is,
projector.
yeah. The central object that you seem to be controlling is possibly this weird projector in the very center. So yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Does it look like? Do I recognize at least like the village?
No. In this case, it doesn't show the village. It shows dozens and dozens of interesting maps. Maps you've never seen. That clearly might be an endless variety. Like you're kind of just messing around with one of the menus. You figured out enough of this menu to sort of get some section of maps to appear. You think there's more, right? You think whatever this writing is, as you start messing with the menu, right? After 10 minutes, you spend a little 5 more minutes, and you're suddenly realizing this is like a database of maps. None of these maps, though, these 3-dimensional topographical labeled maps, happen to look like anything you know, any location you know. But you think to yourself, this thing, it's, if you could only understand.
Now we, as people in this world, right? We
Yeah.
realize there have been previous worlds before this, or we're just like, where the fuck did this shit come from?
The Amber Papacy, the Church, the Legion, that is the Catholic Church of the Steadfast, essentially, invented the language that you speak. It is the religious doctrine that there have been many, many civilizations, and that the gifts of the Numenera are the gifts of ancient beings. So, yeah, you have an inkling that there have been the stuff that's around you is the detritus of a previous civilization. And as a matter of fact, the Amber Church basically preaches that the more you understand this stuff and the more that you know it, the better off we will be able to replicate the magic and miracles of the previous ages.
Now,
Again, like the Renaissance, it's like worshiping ancient Rome.
with the time disparity, right? Would I be aware of how like the planet functions with its geography? Like maybe this geography is from a previous age that the planet doesn't look like anymore, like kind of like the way Pangea.
It could be, because I'm not going to say these are maps. These are like regional maps of stuff. And the maps are so varied. They could be. You have no idea how old these maps are. I mean, again, you don't know that it's 1 billion years in the future, but you know that there is a.
No, but I think what you shared with us before, the only mapped sections were of the places we were before. Is that all right?
You probably, because of where you come from, the Steadfast, Navarine, you have maps of Steadfast. Maps that are parts of the kingdoms, right, of the Steadfast.
And then there's the
which
uncharted borderlands, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Steadfast is maybe the size of America, or maybe more like Europe. the European landmass, and then there's like everything else beyond, and like that's not well mapped, and you don't go there. I mean, that is for you guys to explore. And the fact of the matter is, these maps don't represent anything you know. I mean, of course, the maps are like valleys and mountains and there's all sorts of variety of things. But and you're flipping through these maps, and they just don't. You, with your intellect, you just don't recognize what they are. I mean, fuck this. This could be an atlas of a previous age for you. This could be, you don't know what this is. But it occurs to you that this thing is some sort of Uber Google Maps, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. There's a hyper technological map of some kind. And
is there any way I can try to focus on like the steadfast to see if that map pops up?
you're Anthony, imagine you had to use Google Maps with a Chinese interface and a cell phone blind.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
You don't know what any of this fucking shit means. You just know if you move your finger across the screen, shit changes in this weird blue three-dimensional fucking mapping structure. What it means or where it is and what the symbols, alien symbols mean, you have no fucking idea. It's like that level of what the fuck is this shit. But you do get the sense that, you could take it apart. You could definitely fucking break this shit down. I.e., you think you can essentially disassemble this if you're careful. That would require a successful salvaging Numenera.
That's where Chowry comes into play, right?
That is where Chowry comes into play.
What would be the difficulty of that role?
Can I help him in any way?
Do you have any kind of Numenera skill in it?
Just understanding.
Okay, you have understanding.
But by my machine affinity and
yeah. So by helping him, you would provide an asset.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm being signed up.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
Get an asset from me. What's the difficulty?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. What's the difficulty?
Really say. So I'm gonna call this a difficulty. I'm gonna call it a difficulty 3. I'm just gonna make it like that.
Was Mike able to get it off beforehand?
Wait, what did he roll?
Oh, nope.
Wait, did you roll a salvaging Numenera?
His computer restarted.
Oh, he restarted. It's at 10 o'clock. God damn it! It's my fault. Oh.
Yeah, I got a little weird. Why he turned off exactly this moment? Did he manage to close the window while trying to roll a dice?
Hasn't turned. I don't know what is happening to his computer. I don't know why it turns off at 10. I don't understand. It is like I have failed my understanding Numenera rule, and I don't understand why it turns off at 10 o'clock at night. It's exactly it.
Can he bring it in to the IT guy in school and have him look at it?
He can. There's an ICT department. He could turn it in and ask the guys. I mean, they've been working on people's computers remotely and having access. They have a system that allows them to essentially have total remote access to the system. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what actions he's taken to contact and allow them to go through his system.
Yeah, it looks like with his screenshot, he was trying to do it himself.
Yeah, he should totally just let the ICT guys essentially remote control and remote access his desktop and let them take care of it himself better. Weird. Okay. Well, geez, I'm gonna have to wait till he does that. And you guys take the time and you start deconstructing and taking apart the circuitry of this strange table. This essentially giant. It's like a giant iPad table. You know what I mean? It's this giant interactive glass, Gorilla Glass structure
Do we
that's
need
got all sorts of menus on it.
Do we need the glass, or would the projector be able to do it without the glass?
No. The thing is, you think you can take the projector out and do something with it.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I want to double check that roll. Yeah, you had a.
Guys,
Yeah, I mean, you had an understanding.
For me to like integrate that into me, so I can have like an R2D function.
It's pretty big. I mean, that would require a constructing era kind of crazy. You would have to build an artifact. So that would be another level. And that's where the rules for building Numenera, like for not just there's two things. There's finding like immediate bits and pieces you can use, and there's a whole crafting sort of sub game, where you build Numenera from raw parts. So one of the things going to happen here, quite frankly, is if you guys are successful in what I would call salvaging Numenera, then you can end up getting a bunch of components. And these components are things that you can build things out of later, depending if you find things called blueprints or if you have the right type of people around.
Okay.
So it's possible, but you'd have to have someone who knows how to craft Numenera, and we'd have to like agree on how you would attach that to yourself for that to happen.
So if I like get another 4 experience points, one of the things I can do is add a skill.
Yes.
Okay, so then I could like take crafting Numenera.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a whole like in the Numenera, the second edition, there's a whole basically book. There's a whole basically second other book that's all about the crafting aspect.
I could craft Numenera tomorrow if I had it as my free skill choice, but at the moment it's salvaging.
Sure.
Do I still need to do a salvaging roll?
Yeah, your roll never came through. So.
Yeah, if you want to like, and Anthony's saying, if you want to take this navigational device, like Zygor has said, and perhaps think about using it in the future to repurpose it into a permanent mechanism, an artifact, you'd have to salvage. And another thing, right? I mean, it's clear to you that you're smart to recognize there's a bunch of shit you can salvage out of this device. No one's ever actually touched it. No one's ever.
What was the difficulty for the salvaging roll again?
I am going to call this a 3.
Put an asset and use your fucking effort too, Mike.
You have an asset via Zygor. Zygor can help you.
Yeah, I've got the asset in there, and effort. I'm going to put effort in there. And the
1 effort.
What?
Difficulty 3.
Yeah. 3. And then I need to go to self-engineer and roll. Did anything happen?
Yep.
Or what happened? Whoa!
Excellent,
Nice
excellent,
one.
excellent. So I'm gonna say this. This is what's going to happen, ladies. So
Look at that. How good is that? 17.
okay, so you guys.
Eat my die.
So here's a list of things you're going to get. You are going to get a functional navigation device. You are going to get I go like this. I'm going to max it out for you guys because that was a good. Okay. So record that, Michael. You have 2 responsive synth, 3 IO, and 10 shins. What the fuck's going on? Hold up.
Guy, can you put the treasure in the chat? Game.
I did. Didn't you see it? Oh, I'm talking to myself. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I used the talk to myself function. That. Yes? See it now, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, my mistake. And you're also going to get a cipher. As soon as I... What's going on?
I'm going to put the functional navigational device in my items.
And you're going to get a cipher of some kind, right? So you're able to extract a whole, you're able to kind of take the thing apart. You can pull the wires and strange off of the strange projector device. And when you do that, the blue lights that are essentially like a complicated set of panels around this kind of giant iPad glass table, clear glass table, they start malfunctioning and cycling through. They kind of shut down and just have a blue line that goes around the table. The projection device, essentially. And then you're able to get all these other things. Yeah? Huh.
And you can learn that streak from the pack.
What the hell's going on here? Trying to deal this thing, and it's not letting me deal it. Deal. Okay, I'm going to deal this to Towery. Deal 1 card. Right, Chowry, did you get a new power? So do you want the electric core detonator or the fetch? Make a note about that, will you?
I've got 3 things on my decks that I don't know what they do.
Is it the power deck or? Oh, the yellow. Okay, so the yellow is what the cipher looks like. So whatever the first cipher card you have, the anti-venom or the sonic hole, it's a handheld weapon.
Okay.
Whatever the temporal viewer or monoblade is, it's some kind of horn device. And then whatever other numenera you have is a handheld device. So it's kind of a way of obviously randomly giving you a power and then the form of numenera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's the
I thought maybe they were weapons and armor, but
no. They represent whatever the Numenera are. It's just for flavor.
okay.
It has no mechanical in that aspect. I mean, it could have story effect, but it's not an overt mechanical effect. It doesn't change the function of it. All right, Michael. Yeah, so you're able to get this big briefcase type. Who's carrying the big briefcase thing?
I put the
None of me.
the functioning device on my character sheet.
Okay, all right. So then you're carrying. It's not overly heavy, but it's bulky. Yeah, so you're sort of like strapped it on your back somehow, maybe tied up some weird tubing as a sling. So you're carrying it around. That's what that is.
Broomhilda, you said you had a net?
A net?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No.
I don't think I said.
I thought you said a net before.
No. I did ask you to raise the image that the basketball took on the internet. If that the one that's complete, that is been mistaken.
No, something else. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking of maybe instead of carrying this thing around, we can fashion some sort of net and put like 3 or 4 balls in it, so it'll float the device around.
Could you can try and get these phantasm objects to do.
Do we have enough tubing to tie around like 4 of them?
On a roll of 50% or below, you do. You do not.
Damn it!
Yep. Some tubing.
All right, that's fine.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'll carry it.
Not yet.
I don't have any weapons anyway, so. Okay.
All right. And so, yeah, you guys come out of it again. There's like a multitude of domes. Again, it's almost like a small village in here underneath the icon. An isolated, abandoned small village.
Does it seem more developed or less developed than other one that you were?
Everything here is covered in some kind of animal shit that's
So less.
at least 3 fingers deep, depending on what you're looking at and where, and this shell snout. So it looks like a bunch of dozens of buildings inside this massive underground cavern covered in bat shit. And
just the size
crystals
of the cavern means that there's hundreds of bats or thousands?
I mean, you've never seen anything like this. The stench of the shit in here is horrendous.
Can we send the spheres up just to start cleaning house on the bats?
Well, you did once before. You sent one of them up and it's just shooting, things sort of dropping out of the sky. I wouldn't. Again, I use the word bat, but it's not a bat. It's a flying thing that lives in a cave.
There's a flying Pikachu's. Maybe we should send two to scout the surroundings of this place. Just to see maybe we can get a better look at the buildings from where we stand.
Well, we have, everybody has a light, and everybody has at least a laser. Why don't we just send the lasers up to clean house with the bats and use
what you guys have is Zygor has modified one of these glowing basketball-sized objects. It's actually a little bit bigger than a bat. It's actually a beach ball. I'd actually put it about the size of a beach ball, not a basketball. An American-sized beach ball. It's bigger than a basketball. It's like half a meter in diameter. So it's sort of shining a red light, pulsing a red light very quickly in a large area. So it's like you have a red flashlight. Yeah. So as you start getting deeper past the dim blue glow of the lights in stairwell where you came from, then all you have is this kind of red light, or these red lights that are kind of a flashing. It's like a flashing LED light that's flashing so fast it illuminates everything around it. Right? It doesn't matter. You have a red light, and so you approach another one of these. There's multiple domes. So you're moving to some of these domes. Some of these domes don't actually open when you put your hand on. Actually, seem to do anything.
I can make it function if there's ones that we want to go into.
Yeah. Okay. So you are able to, open at random, one of them, and then let me make sure I get something, and that some of them. So two of them that you open are basically look like they've been stripped of things, or they're kind of broken. And they it's kind of hard to open because it seems to be malfunction, like someone's hammered at it. You can see that the door areas have been attacked possibly by some kind of physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finally do open, they look like the interior of the hangar that you came into. They look like they've been stripped, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that happens to the next two of these domes that you investigate. But then it clicks. You look at the device that you were able to salvage from the first dome, and then you look at the leftover bits and pieces that are scattered through the rest of the rest of this dome, the two domes, and I'm going to say that gives you D20 shins. So you get 3 shins from the bits and pieces that are left over, and then you see a relationship between the paneling and the empty spots and the original weird hangar that you came from. Remember, the hangar that you came from had seemed like everything was stripped, but all over the walls and the floors that were definitely like symmetrical power sockets almost. Like it looked like there was tubing or some kind of interface you could stick into sort of different areas in that dome, particularly sort of the center, right? Like if there had been some kind of paneling or equipment there. And it is clear to you that the same sort of socket shape is not only visible in the empty sockets that are in the 2 empty domes that you walk into next, but it is the shape of the components and this navigational projector device that you took out from the first one. They're all the same. It's like Thunderbolt, USB ports. It's clear these are all USB ports.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all the same. And then the fourth one that you end up looking at is somewhat is larger and is at maybe the first one was maybe to your a little bit to your left, and this one is actually kind of to the right, closest to the door you come into. As you know, you're kind of going a line, you're going around, you're seeing what you can open, and you touch this dome, and it's quite warm. It's like holding your hand near a torch. That's the first thing you notice before you do anything. It's giving off heat like a torch.
Should I open it from a distance?
If you use your mechanical capacity, that sort of control. Do you need to spend any points on that, Anthony? I forget.
Yeah, it's 1 point.
Yeah, you can spend an intellect point, if that's what it is, to interface with the door and to open it.
Yeah.
And then, even from the distance, you feel a burst of hot, because this place is still cold. It's underground and it's pretty chilly. You're not suffering from the wind chill, but it's definitely cold down here, right? It's getting to be here as cold as it is on the mountainside, not like it is in the valley. You already feel that. Your breath is condensing in front of you. When you open that door, a blast of hot air, humid, like if you open the door to a sauna in our world. It pours out.
But it's not fire.
It's not fire. It's just really, not burning hot, but it's hot, humid air. Steam, right, that condenses as it pours out.
I don't know how good I'm going to be in moisture.
What are you guys going to do?
Well, I really don't know how to take it. This. Should we send one of the basketballs inside of it?
You can send one of your basketballs inside of it.
And by the way, inside you can see a blue glow. Even from outside, you can see that there are some sort of vertical metal pipes that are coming off the ground on one side of the room, like a semicircle that of different heights, almost like an organ. And they have different top, like some of them are flat, or rather, some of them seem to have maybe like a round cap. You're not sure. And then closest to you is again a big hologram screen, like a big hologram table that has some kind of weird diagrams and strange writing that's oscillating. You don't know what it means. And then there's a kind of weird gurgling noises coming from the pipes. You can clearly hear and see that from the door opening.
Is it unbearable?
I would call it uncomfortable. Again, like walking into a really hot sauna.
Okay, I walk in.
Yeah, all right, it's hot. You can feel the hot air in your chest, and you're starting to sweat, especially heavy black tusk furs that you're covered in. What do you want to do?
Is there a device controlling the temperature in here?
You don't know. You just have this giant glass table, right, with what might possibly be like like a screen at 90 degrees, the giant glass table, with this weird three-dimensional, hologram, blue hologram.
Can I use my machine affinity to try to understand, or would it be understanding Numenera?
I need an understanding Numenera. But let me double check. Your machine affinity says. I'm sorry. Your machine affinity. What's it say? Device activation. You're trained in tasks involving electrical machines. So then, you could use your machine affinity as opposed to your understanding. How about this? Because you have machine affinity, you don't know if this thing's electrical. This is a problem.
Okay.
But you assume it is. So I'm going to say it like this. Oh man, this is under. So do you have understanding of Monero?
I do.
Are you trained in it?
I am.
I think to figure out how it works. This is difficult. I'm not too sure how this works. You have machine affinity and understanding. So I'm going to say that you have an asset or a bonus because of machine affinity. So you can ease it by 1. So you can ease the difficulty. And I'm going to say the difficulty 4. Actually, the difficulty is there's a couple things going to happen. You recognize this is similar to the other device, right? So that eases it to a difficulty 4. Because you have that affinity, it eases to a difficulty 3. So this is a difficulty 3.
So 3 with no asset?
Yeah, no asset. So it was originally a 5. Because you already fucked with the other device, it's down to a 4. Because you have machine affinity, is down to a 3, and you can roll your understanding Numenera at difficulty 3. Figure out how this thing works. Yeah, okay, you just make it, right? And so bingo, bango, bongo. So it takes you about 10 minutes. And then you can actually end up connecting your navigational device, rather the weird Google Maps fucking thing that you took from the other app to the other room, and you connect it to here, and that helps you. And it's going to, now you've figured it out, it's going to take you about another 10 minutes to start navigating the menu system here and trying to understand what it means. It's very graphical. So after another 10 minutes, I say this. So it's been a half hour now. And is everyone else inside of this, or are you guys standing outside? Who's doing what?
I'm inside, fucking with the device.
Anyone else out inside? Everybody left.
Okay.
Anybody else here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Yuri, are you outside?
I am, and I think that's a good idea to go in there.
Okay, did Michael leave?
He's muted.
Michael, you there? Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Okay, so
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes.
Both of you outside, right? Is this correct?
Yeah. I think I'm stood behind everybody else, waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm keeping Zygor out since he seems to know better than I what's happening.
Okay, so Zygor is in there doing stuff. And I'm going to say that you see this Zygor.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at that one. Oh, the one pylon. Okay.
Can I make a resemblance of where I think this pylon would be?
You are not seeing the map of Zygor because none of you are inside. You just see Zygor flicking his hands,
Okay.
things moving on the blue lights rearranging, three-dimensional
Presumably,
table.
this is the pylon that was messed up.
Can I?
I mean,
Is
are you
there a way
talking
I
to each
can?
other?
Is there a way I can interface with that pylon?
You will have to make a level 5 understanding, and I will take it down to a level because of your understanding of the previous mapping system.
Oh shit.
Get in there, robot friend.
All right. Well, guess what? That takes another um, 10 minutes, and so you guys spent about 40 minutes down here, and then
During the
the
whole process, I'm explaining everything. I'm yelling out of the
okay,
thing what I'm doing, just so
and
nobody's just sitting there watching me work. So they
right,
understand
if
that
they're
I'm doing something, not just fucking around.
absolutely, and you guys all hear Zygor's strange monotone voice explaining what he's doing, step by excruciating step, moment by moment, until Zygor, after another 10 minutes, you notice that the symbol that is on that pylon, on that well, what you think represents the pylon, the symbol on that one pylon changes. It blinks for about 30 seconds. And then it changes in color from a light blue to a dark blue, like the rest of it. And the symbol that floats above it changes.
Does the symbol look like the other ones?
It does.
Okay.
Um,
We are about to be gods.
I look at Shower with confusion with this phrase.
and then as you're sort of, shifting things around, you also get sort of like, like after you do that, you get a warning. It's like a weird messaging system. But it shows kind of like a map. This a map, and a map that has a bunch of different domes.
Uh huh.
Mm, and has a dome that's flashing yellow. Uh, and it doesn't take you much to recognize that this map has something to do with where you are. And that the flashing yellow dome must be the dome that you took the Google Maps object out of.
Hmm.
And that flashes off momentarily. And it shows you just the rest of this. It goes back to the weird holographic diagram of must be the valley. I mean, you can sort of move around. Like it's kind of you fucking around. You can move to different maps. These maps seem like different areas of the valley. The topographical map of the valley. It seems like you can actually move into zoom into individual pylons. Anywhere and rotate this around.
Do I see people?
No, that this just seems to represent whatever the technology is.
Can I go to the elders' home?
Yes, So yeah, because it's a topographical valley map of the valley, you can probably go. Yeah.
I wonder if I can lock them in their home.
I'm going to say that is a level 5 understanding.
Should I lock them in their home?
Yeah, lock them in their room.
Will we have time enough to go there and work around this?
I don't know. It's up to you guys. I believe from here I could lock them in their house.
Let's see if the technology works. I'm behind you, you freaky robot.
And I think I fixed the broken pylon.
Oh. Okay.
With that alone, you could become their god because the elders failed to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Rule
saying.
this valley.
We could become gods. I've already been laying the groundwork saying that I'm the icon's messiah. I could just
Oh, that's what they mean by God. Oh.
we could just go over and tell them that we discussed with the icon, and we asked the icon to fix the pylon, and he agreed. He said, "How could I turn down my only son?"
Well,
Yeah, you got.
looking
You got
now,
a
I
point
think it's
there,
a good
Tadpole.
idea. Try to lock them.
But this doesn't get us home.
Well, I don't mind walking back home. I don't know, but not sure about you.
Can I see the hangar from the map?
Interesting question.
Oh, I see. When you're talking about home, you're not talking about these cross-eyed beauties down in the valley.
No.
What if we were able to import another computerized lump of machinery like you, Zygo? Would you be happy to stay?
Success
What purpose would that serve?
beats difficult. Okay.
We got it made here, fella. We're the lords of this kingdom. These people worship us.
Mike, realistically, if you could be a king in like the dark ages of England, would you do it? Just because you're king, but you live in the dark ages in England.
No,
would
but
you do it?
in this, am I talking as me or as Jerry?
Yeah, no, it's talking to you. Would you want to be the king, in the dark ages? Like let's say
Yes,
the king of
because
England.
the point is, in that era, these people that is what these people strive for now.
You're
That is,
living the best of the worst, right?
yeah, but it's like people wanting to be a YouTube, a YouTube, what do you call it? Someone who does YouTube videos. What are they
A
called?
YouTuber?
YouTuber.
It's called YouTuber. It's not that complicated a word. A YouTube celebrity.
Exactly. It's like, would you choose that? Well, no, our generation probably wouldn't. But if you're from because don't forget, even Chowry is from a kind of medieval society, despite all this technology. And this valley is no different. He sees an opportunity, I think, to be the lord of the manor as opposed to Just another grunt at the bottom of the pile.
If we do that, we have. If we're gonna stay, then I don't believe that we should be ruled by the elders.
Let's get rid of the elders. I'm with you, Zygo.
Is this
By the way, I've got this mirror thing you might want to use to spy on them.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I feel, Michael, that you are like bandit lunches from rather.
Mike, no running water, no toilet paper.
You'd rather
I
be
don't think Chowry's that worried about running water. You know what I mean?
He's a survivalist. He's like,
yeah. Bro, here, let's go home.
You want to go home? Yeah. You've got family, yes?
I got a family, and I still have to find a husband.
Big family. Yeah.
I mean, you could find a family and create a family here. I guess that's what Chowry is saying. But if you miss your pre-existing family, then it makes sense.
That would be kind of problematic for him with the.
And you, Chowry, you have no pre-existing family?
No, I think this is as good as it gets for Chowry.
Chowry, you do not know your parents?
No, Chowry's a loner. He's alone.
Okay.
So, while you guys are kind of talking, Zygor manipulating this three-dimensional holographic, you figure out a way to zoom out, and you can identify the hangar up in the mountains. And the hangar up in the mountain is flashing. And it's flashing different colors. Matter of fact, you realize that one of the colors it's flashing is the same color as dome that you took the navigational CPU computer.
Ah. I just figured it out. We need to bring the device from the other dome up to the hangar, and I might be able to manipulate it to bring us home. But maybe we should inform some people if they desire to leave this place.
It's flashing other colors though. It's not. It's like it's flashing colors in different locations. It's like it's like a multicolored, almost like warning signals, right? There's like different. You can imagine it's like three-dimensional eyes, and there's like little pointers coming off of it, and floating in the air above it are different weird, unreadable symbols, but they're color matched, and you can find one color and one matched to what you already saw before the map of this area.
Okay. So,
right?
our symbol is one of the multitude of others, and is the one symbol that brings us here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, how many other possibilities are there? Is it infinite?
No, it's not infinite. There's a whole bunch of there's probably about I'd say about 15. Like this. There's about 15 of these domes in here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You've searched about 4 right now. And you zoom out, and you'll notice that there are different symbols. Like you kind of figured out how to use this map. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in on the icon. You know, you kind of have enough understanding how to move through this alien menu, alien iPad menu to kind of get to what you want. And it occurs to you that you see that the flashing symbols that are flashing on the hanger that you came, that there are multiple, about 3 or 4, I'd say about domes in this area that are flashing the same color and symbol as you see. They're not flashing. They just have like a bunch of menu items, and you look at them and you're like, oh, okay, look at this. So what I'm going to say is you can match the map of this underground cavern to flashing symbols up in the head. The flashing symbol in the dome that you took the navigational device from matches the flashing up in the hangar. And then you see there are other domes that don't have flashing symbols, but they have the same solid symbol, their array of symbols as up in a hangar. So, right? Does everyone understand what that means? You guys, as you and Zygo and everybody talks this out.
The hangar is linked to a couple of the domes underneath the cavern.
I get possibly, right?
Yeah. So we might be able to teleport from a dome in here to the hangar.
Maybe. Right. You see the flashing symbol of the dome that you took the navigational map thing out of matches the same color and symbol that's flashing in the hangar at the top of the mountain.
Okay.
The top of the mountain, so let me reiterate so kind of get the sense. Top of the mountain has 4 other symbols that are these weird symbols that are flashing match symbols that you see in 4 other of these dozen or so domes that surround it. But the domes that are in the map where you're at, they're not flashing. The only one that's flashing is the one that you scavenged and took shit out of.
Okay. I think I understand. The other ones are still working. The one's not. So it's flashing. So I'm gonna tell so this dome is linked to the hangar as well?
The dome that you're in, that you think you're in, definitely has a weird symbol. And that symbol is not flashing, but it matches a symbol that's up in the dome in the mountains.
Okay.
But then there's also the same symbol occurs in 2 other domes. So it's like this one has like a symbol that's also matched by 2 other domes. So, what the fuck is this about?
Okay. Did I figure out a way to control the temperature in the room?
Let's see. No, you don't.
Okay.
You could try and salvage. But by the way, you've been in here a while, so you have to take 1 of heat damage to your. And so you take, because it's sweating, it's hot, and even you start taking off the weird snow parka, but it's
what
like
happens when I'm down to 0?
When you get down to 0, it'll automatically shift on your character sheet. Hail to hale to impaired. So once you get down to 0 on the current, then the sheet will automatically move into impaired.
Okay. So the
And it'll automatically like um, uh, uh, calculate the
Gotcha. Okay.
the negatives.
I've been thinking about my numbers incorrectly. Everything's opposite.
Yeah. Remember, so when you're fucking with the numbers, you have to take it's out of the current, not the pool.
Yeah.
So if I'm sorry, the pool is like your permanent ability score, and the current is how much of you have left score. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's normally where shit gets subtracted. That's the one, the bigger one that you usually have. So when you subtract the cost of using edge, it comes out of that current. It's like your current ability score.
Okay.
So
So
sorry about
I'm gonna stop dicking around with the device. I'm gonna exit the building and I'm gonna sit down and take a 10-minute break.
Okay, yeah, which means that you can regenerate.
Awesome. Two my points.
All
Can
right.
we all take it?
You
10
can all
minute
take
break.
a 10-minute break if you want, assuming you have a 10-minute break to take, right? It depends if you haven't taken a 10-minute short rest before, right? Then your character sheet should indicate on the damage track, right? Rather on the recovery track, right? It should already be checked. Chowry, you already have 10 minutes checked, so you must have already taken that. So that means you would need an hour to do another recovery. So unless you're going to rest for an hour,
Have we got time for that?
I mean, you guys sit down and you rest.
I'm okay with doing that.
Okay. Well, you sit down, Zygor.
Then what do I do with that 5 points?
Well, wait. I didn't say you could rest in. I just said you would have to wait another 50 minutes after Zygor rest. Was Zygor rest 10 minutes? And if no one else has a 10-minute rest, about the time that happens, you hear a weird chittering sound and a scampering, sort of crunching sound all around you. And then when that happens,
Get an experience point.
huh?
Is there an experience point coming up?
In this case, no, but there could. But what happens is that, you'll hear this kind of weird scratching and scrabbling sound that you haven't quite been able to pinpoint. It's been around everyone who's been outside, for example, this particular dome for a while. So you suddenly see. All right, so I'm going to say that 2 steps, any chance to this. So let me take a look at this real quick. Yeah. So I think you guys are going to have. I need you to roll a intellect 4 task, all of you. Zygor's
I
fine.
didn't set the difficulty.
It's okay. It'll tell me what you are able to pass. Beats difficulty. Don't see it. Then Broomhilda.
Sorry, I just came back.
It's
What
fine.
happened?
It's fine. I need you to.
Pete?
I need you to roll an intellect difficulty task.
Okay. Oh! So
Yeah. Okay. Great.
It's
All right.
smartest.
So let's see. Ah, geez. Da, 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 da. Okay. So here's the thing, Chowry, you are going to be surprised this coming round. And I think Chowry, do you actually, Michael? How long should we end? Like at 11? Do you want this to be a cliffhanger? We didn't play as much as you wanted.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
for me.
Okay. So then I'm gonna say that Chowry,
You guys want to
tried.
continue? That's fine.
I really feel we need. And so, Chowry, you were surprised. And so, what that means is that you are.
Stupid.
You are not going to be able to use. The fuck is this to roll here? Check here. I just saw it. You're the only one who's going to be surprised because you're the only one who failed. Right? So, both Brownhilda and Zygor are going to see moving along the snow, or rather, the moving underneath this freakish sort of shell snow, this chalky, weird mineral powder, flakes of mineral powder, are some kind of something is moving underneath them, and you can recognize them as related to the wide sort of paths that you've already seen here. And as the thing gets closer, you suddenly realize that up above this sort of tube of snow, you kind of see it last minute. There's this awful, large, maybe 5 centimeter yellowish insect head that comes out, bright yellow. And there's dozens of them all around you, position underneath. You suddenly realize what's happened. They're hurrying underneath the snow, and as they get within about half a meter of you, they pop out in a puff of this shell snow, and you see this ugly, freakish, 30 centimeter long, 10 centimeter wide yellow insects. With sharp mandibles that burst out and come right towards you. Bum, bum, bum. As you sit outside and rest outside of this golden dome. And Michael, you're going to be surprised. And then we are all going to clear.
Yeah.
Everyone,
This is like Flash Gordon on a Saturday morning. What will Buster Crab do next week?
Exactly. I mean, this is a very Flash Gordon thing. Flash!
Flash Gordon.
You're saving one of us!
The truth is, Flash Gordon always cheated, didn't he? There was always something they didn't show you from the previous episode. Every week I felt robbed by Flash Gordon.
So, yes. So here's the thing. As a surprise, as an attacker, you have -2 difficulty steps, which means it's more difficult for you, Michael, this first round. And you cannot use effort action abilities as a defender. So that's what's going to happen to you. Show to players. It's in Combat 101. If you're going to attack, it's -2 difficulty steps. You're a defender. You cannot use effort action abilities during this first round. Deal?
I'm just going to I'm just going to show my love next
What
week.
what is your did you roll?
And Ming the Merciless will dissolve in front of my.
You have to. Did you roll your
my
initiative,
show.
Michael?
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you have to roll initiative. Click on your. Do you want me to do it for you? You got to click on your character. And,
Oh, I've messed up my character sheet now. Come on.
yeah, just roll initiative. Well, you can't fail initiative. Just it's what you get. What you get.
The problem is, I remember when Firefox used to be really good.
I'm using
And
Firefox right now.
yeah, it's not. I'm not getting good vibes from Firefox right now. It's not
Gotcha.
working well
I'll
on
roll it for
Windows.
you if you want. It's fine. I got your character sheet here.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'll roll initiative for you. Chowry, you have a 4. That's all right. I'll let it. Okay. And so as you guys are resting and Michael sit down and his eyes glow momentarily and strange circuit-like tattoos glow under his skin as he sits himself in a position and starts breathing. That's after 10 minutes, that's when things come out of the snow and come get you. And we'll leave it at that. And I'm totally sorry. We lost track of time chatting. So this episode should have ended. So I have to try.
There we go.